This is the plaintiff, John Josko. He says he was hired to do marketing work for the defendant at his cookie company, and the man's refusing to pay him. He brought in a large cookie order for the defendant. He's owed $2,000 and is suing for just that today. This is the defendant, Daniel Walsh. He says he sells hand-decorated cookies, which are sold in gift packages. And yes, the plaintiff did work for him for about 60 days and was then terminated. Unfortunately, the plaintiff was very upset he was let go and is just grasping at straws, trying to sue him for $2,000 today. He's accused of letting the cookie crumble.
All parties, please use your right hand.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket. The plaintiff was hired to do marketing for the defendant's cookie company and got stiffed. But the defendant says he fired the plaintiff. It's the case of the Cookie Monster.
Thank you, Douglas. John Josko?
Yes, ma'am.
You are suing the Frosted Baker, represented by none other than the Frosted Baker, represented by Daniel Walsh. You're the owner, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, for $2,000, your salary in July and salary in August that you believe you're entitled to, and he does not believe you're entitled to. Tell me what's going on.
Okay, so we entered into an agreement, a broker-client a relationship on February 1st. I was to represent his product in certain markets that we decided. We made a list of certain customers that we were going to go after. In return, I would get a weekly stipend for my administrative services and time.
So you would get a percentage if you got a deal, but also you would get a base salary?
Correct.
All right, and the base salary was how much?
$250 a week.
Do you have anything in writing with him?
I do.
May I see it?
We have a contract.
And what is it you, what do you do? What do you bake?
The Frosted Baker makes the finest, most highly decorated cookies in the world.
I don't see a box of cookies.
No samples for the judge?
Are you hiding the cookies?
Your Honor, I will send them after the decision.
No. Don't do that. Don't do that, please.
Bribe could have been construed as something like a bribe.
Something like a bribe. All right, so he's not going to send me cookies. Don't worry. And if he does, I won't eat them.
Listen, they're good cookies. That's too bad.
Did you bring me cookies?
I did not.
Okay, well.
I don't have access to them anymore.
Okay.
Yes, you do. You go to the
how
website.
does it? Wait. How does this work? You wholesale them?
Correct. We manufacture for large companies like QVC. We were on a couple of times. Williams-Sonoma. Those types of companies. Tier 1 retailers. Okay. And basically, what we do is we take their needs and we use our initiative and our decorators, which are the best. And we design their cookies and we actually produce them. They're all handmade, hand decorated, and we can do that in the tens of thousands and keep the quality the same. So we're basically right now known as kind of the industry standard in that segment, and we're pretty highly recognized, pretty highly regarded.
Okay. Now this says the agreement shall be for a term of 6 months from the date hereof, will renew automatically, but either party can terminate this agreement during the year with 30 days written notice. So what happens?
What happened was we brought John to Gurney, showed him the facility, introduced him to the team, explained in depth what the pricing was. And so what happened was John came on board. We just didn't get a feel that what we were investing in him was really going to produce anything. Because if you consider that the $1,000 a month and a 5% commission rate is really worth about $20,000 in sales. And we just really didn't, the team kind of felt like...
But you mean you changed your mind?
No, ma'am.
Or what did he do during how long was he actually working for you before you gave the 30-day?
On March 14th, I sent him an email outlining what my concerns were, and I said, at this point in time, we are going to trigger the 30-day
So he
clause.
had the 1 month, February. And
Correct.
what happened in February?
What happened in March? He got
Right, I know, but what did he do in February? What did he produce?
Not sure. Nothing in the way of
Did you
sales.
produce anything in February?
I was just started seeing appointments.
Okay, so on March you say we're exercising the 30-day. March what?
March 14th.
14th. All right, and
There's
then
an email.
What happens? In March you produce something.
Right. He made a stipulation that if I was to bring an order in, we would revisit the stipend. So I still continued to work. This should have went through April 14th. If nothing happened, then we could have both went our separate ways. Subsequently, I did bring in an order for him. They made me custom product. We got a commitment for a big order, and we continued business as usual after that.
Okay, so hold on. So how big was the order?
It was about $36,000.
Okay.
I have the purchase orders
And
here.
that happens on what day?
We got the commitment in between March 14th and April 14th. We got the purchase order toward the end of April.
So did the two of you discuss continuing business, or did he just continue to pay you?
He continued to pay me. We just
Okay.
continued to do business
Just
as usual.
everybody pretended the conversation didn't happen.
Exactly.
It's very unhealthy, because that's how we have a name for you people. We call you litigants. Okay. All right. So you continue to get paid, and that part is true, right? He continues to get paid.
Well, what happened was there was a conversation, and in business you have to make a decision. Some of it's financial, some of it's qualitative. The decision to terminate the stipend, which is clear, there's no ambiguity about whether I notified him pursuant to his constructed agreement that he was given notice, and on April 15th, that part was done. He did say that he
Well,
had...
but hold on. See, you're saying there's no ambiguity. There is no ambiguity in the language. There is ambiguity in the interpretation.
Correct.
Did you or did you not continue to pay him after that and
He-
pretend business was as usual?
Well, I said to him, I said, since you said you have this commitment, which doesn't mean a lot until you get the purchase order, what I'll do is, as an act of good faith, again, making less a financial decision, more a qualitative decision, because as John said, we went out of our way to make this kind of a dumbed-down kind of bulk-type cookie, which is not something that we did. So I figured it was probably prudent to see if he could actually pull this off, to stick with it and keep that motivation going. And at some point in time, if I decided that this just simply wasn't working, at least my financial decision, which was to end the stipend, was obliged to. And so, yes, ma'am, I did
That is how
continue to pay.
I understand what you're saying,
Okay.
and I see how you look at it that way. Let me tell you the way he looks at it. He looks at it as, I got fired, but I got rehired, so I'm still under the same contract. What ended up happening with that $36,000? Did they end up paying it?
Yes, it was
okay.
about, I believe it was in late June that we actually fulfilled the order.
Okay.
And they did pay about 30 days later, which is typical, was a net 30
Yeah.
deal.
All right,
And then
so-
John was paid his commission out of that. And
Okay, so what happens, what do you produce in April, May, June?
We didn't produce anything from
Okay.
that point.
All right, and
However,
so when is it that you learn that they are not interested in continuing to pay you $250 in expenses?
it was probably toward the end of July. I hadn't heard from Mr. Walsh. I did send him a communication that, because they just stopped paying me. They would send me checks.
When did they stop paying you?
June 30th was the last check.
And then you want to get paid now for July and August.
Correct. After I didn't get the July 15th check, I had reached out to him and I said, are we done here? And he said, yeah. He said, because I already resigned you back in March. But I said, but I'm still working for you. I'm setting. I had holiday commitments set up with this same particular type of cookie that they developed for me that I was just getting together for the holidays. Probably around $100,000 in additional sales.
Okay, favorite type of cookie?
Chocolate chip.
Favorite type of cookie?
Snickerdoodle.
Snickerdoodle.
Really? Snickerdoodle.
Chocolate chip.
Snickerdoodle. Oatmeal cookie.
Huh?
Oatmeal.
Oatmeal?
Yeah.
Oh, God. We were on such a roll here. Oatmeal going inside the courtroom.
He said, you missed your deadline. He said, we're not doing because they're seasonal cookies. They're for Halloween, Christmas. He said, you've missed your deadline on the Halloween cookies. And this is, mid-July.
Okay, can I see any emails from June 30th to July 15th? Okay, so on July 10th, you're answering questions that he's asking about the, he's asking you for individual photos with the item numbers of the cookies, this is on July 10th, and you answer him, John, bulk pallets are 60K, like you're conducting business with him July
Correct.
10th. Then on July 12th, you give him an extensive list of the item numbers for the orange turkey, the brown leaf, the red leaf. There's nothing in there about you missed your deadline.
Was that email from me or was it from Shane?
Shane. Who's Shane?
Shane is my production manager.
Well, apparently, who better than Shane to figure out how much time Shane needs to produce? This is on August 2nd, is an email from Shane. August 2nd. Hi, John. I know you said you needed bulk samples sent to Albertsons. What is the address you need them sent to?
I had meetings set up for the whole month of August to present these cookies, which I had to cancel.
Oh, wow. I find based on the emails that you were still doing business in July and August, and I'm going to order them to pay you the $2,000 that you're asking for.
Thank you.
Good luck, folks.
Thank
you
you.
lost, so I'm not going to get cookies,
Sure aren't.
Darn it. I don't need cookies.
Well, the plaintiff prevails. He gets the $2,000. Dan Walsh has just come out. I gather you disagree with the judge's decision.
Yes, I do disagree with the judge's decision.
Why?
Well, because if he presents me with a contract, I abide by the contract, I exercise the stipulations in the contract, then I expect we all stand by those.
Well, the judge says you were still doing business with him in August. Your production manager was communicating with him, so that carried weight.
We had
obviously.
one purchase order, and the entire time we had the relationship with the gentleman, and that was it.
Well,
that's not business in July and
Okay,
August.
all righty. How many people does it take to make 100,000 cookies, handmade?
Anywhere between 35 and 50, and they are the best in the business.
Well, we'll look for them, okay?
All right.
Thank you very much. Okay. Here comes Mr. Josko. I presume you're happy. His cookies are good, though.
They're
all
very
right?
good. They're very good. It's a very good company. It's a shame it had to come to this. It really is.
Okay, well, you made the right decision. Thank you very much.
All right, thanks.
Okay, take care. Harvey?
Okay, Doug, little tip here. Most states have labor commissions. It's a state agency. And if you don't get paid for work you do, you can file a complaint with the labor commission, and they can actually mediate this stuff. And if the employer doesn't pay within a certain period of time, they can actually attach penalties to that. So it's another way of doing it without going to court, and it could actually be more effective.